everybody, welcome back to the Breakfast Club. It's Saturday, and I'm your host, Sword Sage. So, before I start, I really want to apologize for last week. I know I didn't have a video up last week, and I really wanted to have one up. The topic I found really interesting. Everyone else had some great videos on the topic, and I really wanted to put my 2 cents in, and it just did not work out for me at all. For one thing, I don't want to make excuses, but it's been a fairly difficult week. In fact, it's been a very difficult set of weeks for me. I don't want to get into any details, but let's just say I've had a major shakeup, and it's still affecting me quite a bit, and it's interfering with a lot of my work, both YouTube-wise and life-wise. And also, I tried to still see if I could get something up. I couldn't get it Saturday, so I tried to make it Sunday, and my recording software, the video recording software that I use or used to use no longer works. I've had to find something new to work with, and it's working, but I'm still fiddling with it. It's basically more complicated than what I'm used to, and I kind of messed up one of the render settings, and the whole video got ruined, and I was just like, forget it. And yeah, I'm really sorry about that. But I definitely wanted to make sure that I had a video up for this week, so I spent, time with the software, messing with it some more, getting a hang of it, and that's why I can now have this one up now. So, but yeah, this is I guess it's a bit more of a more lighthearted topic. It's still an important one, at least to me, considering that it is about life goals, and it's something that I've been thinking about for the past couple of months now, like what direction that I would like, my life to head into, and the goals that I have for myself. And so, considering that this is important to me, I'm glad that this topic came up, and I thank Nathyn for bringing this one to the table. So, let's get on with this. I don't think this is going to take too long, because I have a few that I can really get into, but I doubt I don't have too many goals, but they're important to me, and I can get into depth, but it shouldn't take me too long to get through them. So, as Sister Danger pointed out, we have our short-term goals and we have our long-term ones. And I think I have more long-term ones than short-term ones. But let me get into the short-term ones first, because those are easy to just kind of run through. And I'm not going to mention ones like, want to make more money, or be more secure in life, or be more happy. Like, everybody's got those. We've heard it all. Well, not some people probably don't have the exact same ones, but you know what I mean. So, I'm going to be trying to go with the more interesting short-term ones I have. One of them is relocating. Basically, finding another place to live. I don't really mind where I'm living at right now. The house I'm living in is pretty decent. It's okay. My energy bills are fairly low. I like my neighbors, and the neighborhood itself is fairly safe. Working class, middle class-ish, type neighborhood. It's just the state that I'm living in, the overall city, the political climate. I gotta get out. Recently, it just feels like there's a bit of a target on my back. And not only that, but I would like to kind of relocate to a place where the economy is just a little bit better. So, yeah, that is a goal that I've had for the past couple of months now, and I've been steadily working towards, and hopefully it will all come to fruition fairly soon, within the next few months. It all depends on what my connections can dig up for me, as far as relocating a spot to live, things like that. So that's one short-term goal. Second short-term goal is kind of related to the first, because if you're going to be moving, you need money and raising the funds. And part of me raising the funds is getting rid of half my sword collection. Those who've actually followed my personal channel know that I'm a martial artist, and I'm into sword play in particular. I train in Chinese sword work, but I happen to have other types of swords as well, a lot of Japanese swords, and I don't need this many. I don't train in the katana. It's not my main weapon. I like it aesthetically, but I don't need this freaking money. It's time for them to go. So, getting rid of them is another very short-term goal, and I plan on getting rid of these shortly. They gotta go. They really have to go. And the last short-termish goal that I have is picking up some more computer skills. Working with computers is something that's always been an interest of mine, especially when I first got my hands on a computer and started fiddling around with it. I've built my own machine since '99, and I continue to build my own computers. I never buy a store-bought one, ever. The software, Windows, different programs, I always fiddle with it. I've learned to troubleshoot them. I know a little bit of IT stuff. I know a little bit of, antivirus, security type stuff. I've gotten rid of things that other people thought were like certain viruses and certain ransomware and stuff. I've gotten rid of stuff that people thought was impossible. I'm like, you just need to mess around with the registry and things like that. However, these things were mostly self-researched and self-taught. And I would really, got to get the time, money, and the resources to jump in to a good certification program. And I would really love to delve. My main interest is into security these days. Network security, computer security, IT security. That is a big interest of mine, and it's an interesting field, and it appeals to me intellectually. So I would really like to jump in on that and learn as much as I can. I mean, yeah, it will open doors for me financially, but it's just more of an interest of mine. I just find it a bit fascinating. And again, I like working with, computers, so that's definitely a goal that I like to get into. So now let's actually get into the more long-term goals. And I said I thought I had more long-term than short-term, but it turns out it was the other way around. Because I have two major long-term goals. And I'm hoping that I can bring it into fruition. The first one is my martial arts, which I've been practicing for a while now. And that's a goal that I don't think I'm ever going to be able to fully achieve. Basically my long-term goal with that is to master, or at least get as close to mastering my art as much as I can. Particularly my sword work and my chosen martial art, Bagua Zhang. These two things have become a big focus of mine as far as my physical training and physical exercise, is concerned. I've always been into martial arts, practiced it, and I really started getting hardcore into it when I was around 18, 19. But I was mostly focusing on things like, long fist, a little bit of Wing Chun, and then I was focusing a lot on that. But then once, I got into, when someone started introducing Bagua Zhang, I'm like, whoa, that was what really fascinated me. I already knew, by the time I got into that particular art, I already had, my long fist skills under my belt, my fist skills, I had a general idea of how to fight, I was happy with what I knew, but once I got a taste of Bagua Zhang, it was like a whole new world opened up. It's like, this was the art that really felt like it fit, and I've been just absorbed into that ever since. Unfortunately, the instructor that showed me a bit of that, about a year after he started showing me the basis of it, I moved, and I was not able to train with him as much anymore, and these days I'm not around him at all. So I am hoping, especially when I move, that I'm going to be back to a school where I can really dive into that again. I'm still practicing the little bit that I have been taught, and it's carried me okay so far, but I know there's a lot more to learn, and so I want to jump in on that. And then there's the sword play, which I've been in since the very beginning. The Chinese straight sword, or the Dian, however you want to pronounce it, J-A-I-N. No, J-I-A-N. I've always been fascinated with that particular weapon. Which is weird, because most people, when they get into martial arts, they're more into the curved. If they get into swords, it's usually the saber that they're into, or if they're in the Japanese martial arts, everyone knows the katana. You don't really find that many, well, at least when I got into it, you didn't find that many people that cared that much about the Tian, the straight sword. You can actually see my straight swords right there. It wasn't that popular a weapon. It was. I guess some people like doing it for fancy forms, but I knew, at least when I was growing up and I was getting into this, there weren't that many people that cared that much about its actual use. They would learn a couple of pretty forms with it, or the Tai Chi guys, and would do their slow forms with it. But practicing it seriously, that's not something you really saw. But here I am, the nut left field, wanting to learn this weapon. And I've been pretty much focusing on it all the way up until now. And I still feel like a novice training with the thing. but I'm just hoping to one day get to a point where I, at least feel somewhat competent. I mean, I hesitate to say, I finally mastered it, because anybody that's been into martial arts, or any art in particular that you focus in, if you really are passionate about it and you don't have a huge ego, you'll never really feel like you fully mastered it, because there's always some nuance, some new thing that I didn't realize that. So like, just when you thought you learned it all, something new pops up, or a new way of doing it pops up, and you're like, oh, and then you just jump right back into it again. So that's like, I at least want to just build up my skills as much as possible, so I can at least be content after a certain period of time in both these arts. So that's one long-term goal, just increasing my martial arts skills and getting a deeper understanding and appreciation and just a deeper sense of utility with it. Next long-term goal is one that has already been mentioned by others, since Danger mentioned it herself, and that's to get published. Ever since I was a kid, I loved to write fiction, write my own stories. It's something that I can remember doing as far back as I can, as far as my memory goes back. I was always coming up with, making up my own, fairy tales, writing in my school notebook short stories and paragraphs. And I used to like drawing also, so I would make my own comic books. It was just something that I just liked, writing fiction, coming up with my own characters, my own takes on things. And I used to write everything from my own, made up world to, of course, fan fiction, coming up with your own stuff. And I really started getting serious with the whole writing thing around college. That's when I really started coming up with my own characters and things. And then after that, it kind of died down for a little bit, but I would always write a little bit here and there, just keeping my stuff alive and just being able to write at least in prose. In college, I was with the college newspaper, and even though I wrote, journalistic articles, I would write, editorials as well, and I would sometimes put a little bit of a story aspect in that as well. In fact, there was one column that I used to write for a little while where I would come up with a story, and then I would then use the story to kind of reveal a point or give a lesson or things like that. So it kind of kept the creative juices flowing. And after that, years later, I really wanted to get hardcore into writing fiction again. And I came with, in fact, I have a project in the, just stewing around in the background, in my files, really, in my computer. This universe of characters and plot lines and timelines and all this stuff that I've been developing for the past 5, 6, 7 years now. And the only reason why I haven't just straight up gone out and published it is because I'm not really confident in my writing ability yet. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I feel like I never took a formal writing course. And even though some people who do know how to write have said that this is some pretty good stuff, they've also said that you might want to clean this up or you might want to change this up. And I mean, I'm glad to get the advice. But it also makes me feel like, okay, I still need to do some more fine-tuning before I even dare try to take these manuscripts and try to get them published. So I'm still trying to work on my craft, on and off, get back to really, honing my skill. And I feel more confident in what I have, then I'm going to dare to go out and try to publish it, and hopefully it'll be accepted by people. But that has definitely been a dream of mine, to actually write fiction and put fiction out for people to enjoy. So that's it. This has gone on longer than I expected it to, but those are my goals, pretty much. I mean, there is one more long-term goal, but it's actually kind of wrapped up in my martial arts and philosophy seeking and things like that, so I don't feel like I really need to get into that. In fact, these videos I'm putting out is part of that long-term goal anyway, so I don't think I need to go into that much into depths with it. Yeah, I found this kind of fun to, talk about these sorts of things, and in a weird sort of way, it helps me to refocus on those goals that I have, just keep on the path until I reach them. So I hope you guys found this interesting, and be sure to check out the next video in the round robin, and then definitely be sure to check out the next topic, the next round robin, because I'm sure it's going to be pretty good. Until then, Catch you guys later.